The Ballad of Bitterroot Billy. To Montana young Billy had run, with his tears and his traps and his old Remington. His wife he had left in Black Dove Springs, with his bowie knife lodged in her breast, while her swain wore the axe of one Billy McGee and the mangled remains of his chest. Billy sought refuge in furs for the trade in the heart of the old Bitterroots. He sought peace in the sounds of the whispering trees and the snow crunching under his boots. But he breathed the cold and bitter air there in the lodgepole pines as he walked with his guilt and his bitter tears along his bitter trapping lines. The snow fell hard and harder still upon the trapper's trail. The wind blew up in frigid rage and cast a blinding winter veil. The blizzard stabbed at Billy's eyes as he stumbled through the wood, and Billy knew a fateful storm was up to nothing good. Sightless and troubled, unsure of the way, Billy was filled with dread. One misplaced step on his lethal line would see the trapper dead. When out of the gale, from the eye of the storm, a small dark shape appeared. It tumbled and fluttered and drove through the squall and beckoned Billy near. The wife he once loved had told him of a force she believed would save his soul from damnation and eternal fire if he would just follow the way. Faith in deliverance was never a choice for the jaded desperado, but at the dark vision revealed in the storm, he set eyes on the omen and followed. The shadowy portent bucked in the wind, then darted once left and twice right. Billy stomped through the snow, barely able to see or keep up with its twittering flight. He lost all sense of how far they'd gone or in which direction they traveled when a panic set in and his faith in the shape and his self began to unravel. He spun round in his tracks in confusion. He roared at his nebulous guide. Then Billy unshouldered his old Remington and brought the long gun to his eye. At the touch of the trigger, the dark thing shuddered and uttered a feminine scream. Its limp silhouette dropped to the ground as Billy fell into somnambulous dream. He was thawed by the flames of a fire. He basked in the rays of the sun. He bathed in the waters of Black Dove Springs as his beloved Maya had done. He looked up to the light of a clear blue sky and saw the fair woman he loved as she flew through the air, the wind in her hair on the wings of a coal-black dove. She landed beside him and whispered, "You're a dead man, Billy McGee." Billy was chilled from his head to his toes, but could not hope to flee. Blood poured from a wound in his lover's breast. The dove broke a shattering glass. The cold of the storm was returning, and Billy was back on Bitterroot Pass. A black dove, lost in the white wilderness, lay still on the blanket of snow. Her death brought a curious calm to the storm, though the ill wind continued to blow. Billy approached as a man at death's call, unable to plead or to beg, when the trap sprang out from under the snow and clamped hard upon Billy's leg. He wailed at the clap of the iron. He flailed at the chain in the hard frozen ground. He railed at the teeth that tore at his flesh and cursed the grim fate to which he was bound. Then the husk of the black dove rose from the snow as a raven in glistening plume, and Billy fell back at the sinister sight of the creature that surely augured his doom. The raven flew higher into the storm, where the snow fell like plummeting stars, and the dark bird swirled in a frenzy of flight as it blazed with an ebony fire. Then it poured down its fire on Billy McGee. Billy burned in its torment and pain. Billy burned in its love for the murdered black dove. Billy burned in the deaths of the twain. His last wispy breath disappeared in the wind and the smoke that had blackened the air. Then Billy's remains were but embers and ash of a body and fury ensnared. The raven dropped lifeless onto the snow, the corpse of the dove by its side, together in death as they had been in life, soaring on anemoy tides. The snow piled deep on the lovers, the storm spun its narrowing eye, and the wind whipped the ashes of Billy McGee into the white void of the sky.